I'm Brandi Chastain, co-founder of the newest expansion team, Bay FC, to the NWSL, and you are listening to Jim on Base.
The Jim on Base show has teamed up with my new friends at Old Hillside Bourbon Company. I got two of my favorite bottles here, straight bourbon whiskey and the straight rye whiskey. So whenever you want to get on base with that authentic Kentucky bourbon taste, make sure you visit oldhillsidebourboncompany.com, their social media, Old Hillside CO, or pick up a bottle at Bevmo and Total Wine. Old Hillside Bourbon Company. They'll always get you on base. Welcome back to another episode of the Jim on Base show. For today's very special guest, we have on a return of not only a globally known soccer legend, but a Bay Area legend as well. She's one of the co-founders of the brand new Bay Area soccer team, the Bay FC, whose inaugural home opener is coming up next month. I've been lucky enough to have some amazing guests on this show, and when people ask who's one of the coolest or one of the best guests you've had so far, she's always at the top of my list. She's also a Olympic gold medalist. Please welcome the great Brandi Chastain. Brandi, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. It's great to be with you.
Yeah, it's great to have you on again. And last time we spoke, you were on your way to a top secret location. You were going to the cabin. So it's great to have you on again. I am curious, how'd you do in the fantasy football league this year, though?
You know what? I had to take a break because I'm so good normally that I had to let other people do well.
Okay.
No, I would have been terrible this year, actually. There was lots of injuries. There was a lot of upsets. So I this year would not have been a good year for me. So it was a good year to take a little sabbatical.
So you gave Summer Sanders a chance this year then?
Yeah, I love Summer, so I got to give her a chance.
And I was curious, since we're coming up on March, are you giving up anything for Lent? Because last time you said you're giving up ice cream, so curious.
Same thing. Every
Okay.
year I got to give up ice cream. Ice cream and Starbucks. Not
Yeah,
so
those are tough choices right there.
Actually, you know what I've decided also? Lent is not only about giving things up. I mean, it's about like sacrifice, right? And the empathy and compassion that we need to have. But you also have to give to yourself, right? You have to give to yourself some good opportunities. So I'm doing a lot of giving back to myself about having grace and taking pause and being more mindful, so I can show up better in the world. So that's a part of my Lenten promise too.
So you won't be screaming too much at the refs then at the Bay FC
I
games?
did no screaming at the referees.
Wow,
I
that's
mean,
pretty good.
honestly, let me think. I did not do it one time.
That's a step in the right direction.
My husband would be happy and shocked.
Well, one thing I thought was really cool, just to kind of catch up on things that have happened since the last time you came on the show, you and Mia Hamm went to the Rose Bowl, and you surprised Zoe, who is a soccer player and cancer patient. Her and her team came down there. That must have been a pretty awesome moment for you.
Well, any chance I get to be with Mia is an awesome moment. I really value her friendship, and not just from the time we had together as players, and now as moms and just women out in the workforce, and we're also a part of ownership for our respective NWSL teams. So we have a lot of things to talk about, and a lot of things that are in common. But to show up for a young girl who is going through a lot, that's an easy yes every time, all day, every day. And to be able to do that with Mia is very special. And I think we're going to Zoe and I'm hoping I'm going to drag Mia into this. She doesn't know it yet, so be prepared, Mia. Hopefully we're going to meet up again at the Rose, or in Southern California, when Bay FC plays Angel City for the first match ever for Bay FC down here in Los Angeles. So
Awesome.
I've spoken with Zoe's mom, and we're hopefully going to make that happen.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, it makes me wonder, too, when you're at the Rose Bowl, when you have a statue out front of a venue like that, do you kind of have to go by and take a peek each time, or?
I don't get there as much as maybe I'd like. I mean, I love the Rose Bowl for so many reasons. It's just, it has so many good feelings and good memories. But when I do go, I do look over there, and I have a twinge of like, should I go? Is anybody over there? Maybe I'll wait till nobody's there. But yeah, no, it's overwhelming at times, to be honest with you, because That's nothing that I imagined as a young
Mm,
girl when I started playing sports that it was possible. And it's not, to me, I think it's a great memorial to a wonderful era of women's soccer and women in sports. But I never set out my career to win an Olympic medal or a World Cup or have a statue or get into the Hall of Fame
mm,
because those things weren't possible. And so I'm still grappling with the emotions about, what does that statue mean,
mm,
and hopefully what it will represent as I go forward and then when I'm no longer here.
mm. Well, one last thing on that before I moved on, it kind of made me think, it's saying how you would never think some of these things could happen in your life in the future. You had a moment with Zoe and your team, and you kind of said you just want everyone to think about how you guys belong here. And I thought that was kind of a powerful moment.
Yeah, I think again, when I think back to what are my Olympic memories, I think back to when I was 11 years old and I was watching the USA men's hockey team win the gold medal in Lake Placid, and I didn't know anything about ice skating or hockey. Like I grew up in California. I think I'd been on ice skates maybe once at the local ice rink, but that moment captured my heart. And I feel like I really took in the emotion that I saw on the faces of all the players. And when I saw Michael Ruzioni with the American flag behind him and his arms stretched out, and then he called his teammates
Mm,
to join him, I thought, wow, like that was like even now, like my skin starts to get tingly and I'm like, that was so powerful for me. And I remember saying, I want to do that. And I didn't really know what that was, but I know that that had people.
mm,
And, I wanted to share that with people. And so, I want, again, like I said, we didn't have that as soccer players. We didn't have that example. And so when I see Zoe and I see her teammates and we come to a big place like the Rose Bowl that has so much American sporting history, they need to know that that space belongs to them.
mm,
And so that they can have those big, wild, crazy nutty dreams, and that's well within their reach if they
mm.
want.
And speaking well within your reach and people's reach, you've pulled off a big thing. You guys got a great Bay Area sports team coming, another one added to the mix, Bay
Yeah.
FC. And I can't help if people are listening, you got to watch the video of this as well. You got some good swag on.
Yeah, I mean, everybody can get it. Go to bayfc.com and look at the merch.
Yeah.
No, we're very proud of the logo. We feel that it's a bold statement
Mm,
to our community, our 9 bridges and our 9 counties. It feels like it's been around and established for a long time, but it also has some, iconic fog
mm.
and then the bridge.
Oh, that's subtle. I like that.
Yeah, and it feels like it's grounded, and it feels like it's been here for a while, and that's how we want to show up. We want to be grounded. We want to feel like we have um, a lot of tradition, and we want our communities to feel involved. Like we have, like I said, the 9 bridges that will connect all of us, and we want all of those communities to feel that this team represents who they are and that they could come and authentically cheer. And if they've never come to a game before, that they feel invited.
Mm,
And if you've historically been a part of soccer in our community, which has been around for quite some time, you will feel also invited to share your experiences, and we want to build on those. So we're very proud of so far to date, and we're ready to go forward into this
mm.
season. We got one more preseason game about to happen, and then it's go time.
Yeah, I'm happy, but I'm also a little jealous because those bomber jackets you guys have, those are like, they need to be sold, okay?
You are not the first person who has
Yeah.
said that. So I feel like with mass population commentary, we could get something done.
Yeah, I hope so. I entered a contest yesterday. You can enter to win one, so I got my fingers
Hey, right
crossed.
on.
Yeah.
Right on.
But one thing about those bomber jackets I thought was cool was you guys have had a lot of great Bay Area support, like Barry Bonds, Hunter Pence, some great Warriors. I know you love Steve Kerr, Clay Thompson, Christy Yamaguchi, she's a friend of the show, and a Santa Clara guy, Steve Nash. So you've had some great Bay Area support.
No, we're very fortunate. We feel that they all understand what it means to play in the Bay Area. They know what it means to live in the Bay Area. They understand the sport culture, and the Bay is where champions play. Like I've come up with a little slogan about that. It's we understand the balance between competition and winning, and the environment that we live in, and how we want to do things we want to do things better, but we want to do things in a creative, kind of innovative way. And so that's what we want to bring to the NWSL and to, as the first female professional team in the Bay Area right now, in this era and for this generation, we're really excited about the WNBA joining us
Mm.
in 2025. And, the more, for me, the more the merrier. We're not competing against each other. We're working with each other to support and young people in the way young people and fans in the way that they want to be supported, and we want to showcase great basketball and soccer in our case. And so, we look forward to being a part of this sports ecosystem in the Bay Area.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited for that. And also, we got to touch on it's not just you who's a co-founder. There's four of you total, right? So,
Right.
who are some people fans can get excited about that are with you?
Yeah, so my cohorts, and I don't want to say crime because we're doing good things. Danielle Slaton, Aly Wagner, and Leslie Osborne. We all are former Santa Clara Broncos.
Mhm.
We all played on the U.S. Women's National Team together at some point, and we're believers in the Bay. And we know that three out of four of us are born and raised in San Jose, and we're indebted to our community for the things that we've been allowed to try and fail and fall down doing and be supported and uplifted. And so we want to give that back. And we believe that we can have a business and a brand that can change the dynamic,
Mm.
and we've already done that with Sixth Street's involvement, and the ownership that they bring to our league is different, and it's different than it's ever been done in any other professional sport. So
Mm.
we're changing the landscape in that way. So, we're here to make positive waves, right? We're here to
Yeah.
make positive good change, good change.
Yeah, good change. And I know that you're a big Giants fan, so it couldn't help but make me think of, like the core four that the Giants have as well, like the living legends. You got the Willie Mays, you had McCovey's, Marishall's kind of around. So are you guys going to be, I imagine, around the stadium and people going to see you guys out and about?
Absolutely. I mean, part of what we're doing is, we're ambassadors for this club. We want to share it everywhere we go. I mean, I'm driving up and down Highway 5. I'm, getting myself to all these matches and showing support to the players, but
Mm.
also to the league. And, I want our team obviously to accelerate what we're doing. That's also going to push the league, and it's going to push our players into maybe some uncomfortable spaces, but also for growth and for better, right?
Mm.
Good
Yeah.
change, right? We're really fighting for good change, and I think with the group that we have, especially our core, the core four, or we fabulous four footballers
Yeah.
or whatever the heck we're called. I don't know. We don't really need a name, but Danielle, Aly, Leslie, and I, we believe in these women, and we believe that what we've assembled as a team on the administrative side and in the coaching side can really make a big impact. So we're super excited about this season, but it's one game at a time.
Yeah.
You got to take them one game at a time.
No, it's cool to see you talking about this because I listened to our last interview and you were kind of hinting at like kind of trying to do this. And I don't know how much was in the works then, but it's great to see that, it's happening. So, like you said, put your mind to anything and anything's possible. So,
Yeah,
excited.
absolutely. Yes, we are excited, and it's been a long time in the making. Even though we talk about, like, I think we spent a good 3.5 years before we got any one person
Wow.
on board beyond us.
Was that Alan Waxman?
That's Sixth Street. Yep,
Okay.
Alan Jackson, Sixth Street. But I mean, it's been a 5-decade journey for me.
Wow. Yeah.
So, this is not something that we are like hey, we should do this. Like,
Yeah.
oh, good idea. Okay. That's not how it is.
Hmm.
It's been a lifetime worth of connections and dedication and commitment, and we're really happy with where we are. We're ready to roll.
Kind of reminds me though too, like, do you have any TV cameras following you? Like this could be like a Welcome to Wrexham kind of show.
Yeah. We got a great social media team. They've got cameras and phones and microphones and things all over the place. Sometimes I don't know that they're around, and then all of a sudden they're there. But yeah, no, I think documenting what's happening with the team. I mean, this is I feel like it's parallel pathways, right? It's
Mm.
it's the four of us, of course, being, kind of the spark that's done the flame to the
Hmm.
kindling. But now we have this team and all, we have micro teams within our organization, and they're doing things. So it's not just us. I want that to be clear that we have multiple groups that are doing great work that without each other, it won't work.
Well, one thing that I saw too on Bay FC website, it said world class facilities, like where they play, designed by women for women. So I thought that was interesting. Are you able to elaborate on what that means?
Obviously, land in Northern California is not easy to come by. So
Mm,
that's our ultimate goal, is to build the vision is to build a place,
mm,
and we're well on our way to making that happen. But that's a journey. That's not a sprint.
mm.
So I don't have details that I can tell you the where and the when,
Okay,
uh, but that is a part of what we're doing in our
awesome.
business side of things. And so, we'll let everybody know when we can,
Hmm.
about the wins and the wheres, but that is definitely well within our purview. That's what needs to happen, and part of why we're doing this.
That's great.
Yeah.
So a lot to be excited about. And
Yes.
one thing too I thought was pretty neat was the whole goal and mission. It seems like is about the players, but it's also about the fans. It's about diversity and kind of reflecting the community, getting everyone involved. And I thought it was cool. I was looking at some of the players on the roster. You got people from Scotland, Ghana, Nigeria, all the way over to Stanford and Santa Clara. So that's quite the diverse mix there, which is pretty neat.
It is. I feel our team is very balanced. I mean, I would say that, we are humbly working towards being examples of the diversity that we want to see accepted in the world. And it just so happens that we have found talent from Africa, from the three countries in Africa that we have: Zambia, Nigeria, and Ghana. We've got Mexico, we've got Scotland, we have, right here in good old USA.
Venezuela, I
Um,
saw.
yeah,
Yeah.
Venezuela, thank you, South America. So we have a wonderful array of people that are on our team. And I think that speaks to our community.
Mm,
Again, we have pockets of culture everywhere, and we want to celebrate those things. And again, football is the world game. It belongs to everybody. It speaks everybody's language. It probably is the one sport in the world that speaks to everybody.
mhm.
And so we may play it differently, we may have different formations, but I feel culturally speaking, it has the ability to be diverse and to be elastic. And so I look forward to us continuing to live and breathe that type of ethos in our organization.
Great. And one thing I wanted to check up on too is you started a Bay Area women's sports initiative, Bossy Girls. And
Mhm.
are they going to be kind of involved, or are you kind of pairing them up in a way? Or
Well, I would love for us to be bossy every day. Yes. So I'd love for our bossy posse to be, involved in the Bay SC. I believe we will be working with Bossy in a way that we support the community, but it's not going to be the only way that we support young girls in under-resourced communities, or our community at large. It will be one thing that we do, uh, but Honestly, I could be getting in total trouble for this, and I love it because it's what I do. I want good change, so I'm going to ask if there are people out there that are running organizations or see a connection between BFC and
Mm,
where you are. Let us hear about it. We want to know. We have a great street team that is fully immersed in our communities across the Bay Area. How can we support what's going on where you are? How can we get you to matches?
mm.
How can we work together? So let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Well, I'll do my part. I'm going to put some links and some clips out there too. So we're going to
Awesome.
spread the word.
Excellent. That would be great.
And we talked a little bit about diversity and people all over the world on the team. I have to talk about the head coach, right? Albertin Montoya. He's the club's first head coach. And I thought it was interesting. He moved to the Bay Area when he was 6 from Cuba. So you kind of got a local guy in a way, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, there's no doubt Albertine has been around youth soccer. He also is a Santa Clara Bronco, by the way, and is his wife. So, I mean, I have to shout out the Broncos whenever I
Yeah.
can. And he's been involved in youth development in our community for, gosh, I'd say maybe 25
Wow.
years involved in, directly with that. He's also worked in our U.S. national team programming with U.S. Soccer. He's also been a head coach of a previous iteration of professional women's soccer with the Gold Pride. And he's had experience in the NWSL as an interim coach at
Mm.
Washington. So he comes with a lot of credentials, and his developmental capacity with players is second to none. We know that. He himself, phenomenal technical player, like just so fun to watch. And I know that his energy and his desire for our team to play a style of soccer that is enjoyable for the fan. It's not just result driven. Of course, we know at the professional level, results are paramount. For coaches and staffs, that's kind of what we base our KPIs on. Outcomes. But
Mm.
we also need to play a style that's going to excite the fans, and we know that if we're doing the right thing, that good things will happen. And so, we're really excited about what he's going to do with our team.
Yeah, I'm excited too. And you said you're down in LA area right now, right? So what else do you have planned for the day?
Oh, today I'm going to walk along the beach because
Okay.
it's not raining, everybody. It's not raining in California. And so there's no doom and gloom today. And so I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to spend some time reflecting. I've got a
Mm.
lot of things to do with, I do some work with the U.S. State Department in an envoy program. So I'm heading out of the country to
Wow.
spread BAFC and women's soccer and why it's important for young girls to be supported to participate. I'm our BAFC team is playing down in the Coachella Valley Invitational, and so that will happen on Saturday. We'll play Angel City, and I'll watch. Before that will be Portland versus San Diego, so I'll get to watch that. And I love women's soccer. I love it more every day. I have a great friend who I coached with at the Deanza Forest, Coach Lloyd Grist, who he and I, go back and forth with our coaching ideas and, supporting young girls to come up through the game and how we can challenge and help them grow as individuals, but also as collectives. And so that's on my mind. And of course, my family's always on my mind. And so, but it all revolves, soccer for me is like, gives me such a great feeling and it allows me to be creative and express myself and to meet new people
Mm.
and to do things like with you this morning where we're talking about our team and to invite everybody to come and be a
Yeah.
part of what we're doing. And, for me, there's always room for one more and one more. So the tailgate is open to the public. Let's go.
I love it. All right, well, Brandy, I got some fun questions to kind of wrap things up with. And I kind of mentioned it earlier. I know you're a big Giants fan. So I'm curious, who is your favorite Giant or Giants of all time, if you have to pick?
Oh, that is so, I mean,
Or do you have a go-to jersey of someone or?
I have a jersey that they gave me that has my number on it and my name. So I feel like I'm on the team.
Yeah.
So, I would have to go back to like the Will Clarks.
Mm.
My dad and my grandfather. My grandfather, I'll tell you one of my favorite stories about the Giants. There's a lot, and I'm a fan of so many of the players. But my grandfather every day would put on his Giants cap and he'd watch with my grandmother sitting next to him. And then one day I got an invitation to throw out the first pitch and I asked if I could bring my grandfather.
Ah.
And they were so accommodating. They said, of course. So I'm getting chills and this is very emotional because he's no longer with me, and he didn't get to see them win the World Series.
Ah.
But I got to bring him onto the field and I threw out the first pitch and the look on his face, just the biggest smile, and his eyes were wide open, and he was so delighted and so proud of me. I mean, it couldn't have been any better of a moment, and I'll never forget that. And I am so grateful for the Giants for allowing me to have that moment with my grandfather because he loved the Giants so deeply.
Wow, you can't top that story.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
That's great.
Yeah.
And another one, if you could pick one celebrity or athlete, and you don't have to know them personally, or you can, to watch a game with and give a VIP tour of the stadium and do like a pregame with Bay FC, who would it be?
Oh, this is so hard. This is so hard because there's so many amazing people that I'm just um, I'm enamored and impressed by, and I'm humbled by. I Two people come to mind immediately. It would be Michelle Obama and Oprah Winfrey,
Oh, nice.
just for the Michelle because I've met her a few times and she's done some work and met me in like Olympic settings and been so supportive of Team USA. And as a woman who is strong and she understands physical fitness and she understands the power
Mm.
that it can bring for young girls and how important it is to support young girls where they are. Um, so she's one. Oprah, because I feel like she's got this passion for, like I love how her voice can penetrate a room and it just, it flows over people. And I would love to give her my experience in the soccer world
Mm.
and have her experience that in our NWSL setting. So she could go away and share that with other people because she has such a great reach. And I think she's such a passionate person. So those two women for me would be, um, I wouldn't have to invite Billie Jean King because she already is a part of our league. So I can't say her, but I would say her probably under normal circumstances. But I think those three are very impactful women that I think to have them a part of what we're doing would be very special.
Yeah, there's some great names right there. And if you were to have a podcast right now, who would be your co-host that's not already in the podcast world?
This is funny because I went to watch the U.S. women's national team game last night against Dominican Republic, and I have a dear friend. His name is George Valencia, and he loves football so much. He's so passionate. He's kind of in the content creation,
Mm.
filmmaking world. And our other friend, Dr. Joan Olaf, she's like, you guys need to do a podcast because we're bantering back and forth during the match. And she's like, oh my God, it would be so funny. So I'm going to say George Valencia. And
Okay.
I just, he and I just have a unique bond over football and we love to grapple over who's better or what's the purpose and, where are things going. And, maybe that would happen one day.
Okay, that's good. That's a good name right there. Nice
Well,
little shout out.
I'd love to throw down with Julie Foudy because we used to get into like street brawl, UFC, MMA fights like during practice, and the ball would be like we would have the ball would get away from us, and we'd still be going at it, and then we'd be like, oh, the ball won't get like, we have a good time together. So for a name that Julie Foudy, of course, would be fun to do something like that with.
And I heard it in your video from the Rose Bowl when you were with Zoe and the team, and you guys did a chant, and you said you would do it with the Olympic team, USA, USA, USA.
Mhm.
And I was just wondering, is USA just USA said a different way, or
You got it.
okay,
Got it, brother. Exactly.
awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. I I can't remember the origin of that, but it just felt like, that call to action. It has a call to action feel. It has kind of that grittiness that you need to have when you're going out there to compete against the best. And it's inspiring. Like when
Yeah.
you have a whole country that's supporting you, like, you feel empowered.
And it's kind of tribal, It feels like
Yeah,
you guys are
very
connecting.
tribal.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, Brandi, thanks for coming on the show.
But first, what I want to say is I know you're in my community and I want to see you out at our game. You don't have to be behind the mic. You're going to come in real life, right? We're
Yeah.
going to meet up at the stadium and we're going to enjoy women's soccer together. So I want you to know that you're invited to join us.
I'm excited to come out and catch a game at the Bay FC and see you in person. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thanks again for coming on. It was good to see you.
Great to see you. Great to be with you. Thank you so much. And I will see you soon at the stadium near you.